And welcome back to Fashion with Sort Out YouTube channel. How are we all doing? Thank you guys for always stopping by. Now in today's tutorial we are learning how to make this gorgeous, and this is the material needed. I actually have this 3 yards of this beautiful, should I call it guinea material? Yeah, and this is what we are going to be using to make that gorgeous style you just saw. Now what I'm going to cut first is the down part of the dress, and so I have my fabric folded, as you can see, and then I folded it using the hip measurement to fold it. The hip I'm working with is 38 inches, and then I divided it by 4, which gave me 9.5. I folded the clothes using 13 inches. How do I get that? That is 9.5 plus 2.5 plus 3 inches extra. And then the length I'm working with, because it's a 3/4 gown, the total length I'm working with is 43 inches. So what I'm marking out here is 30 inches, and that's to show that I have removed the half length of 15 inches from the measurement. So here I have 13 inches length. So what I'm going to do next is cut it out. After cutting the front, I also use it to cut the back part of the down part, and then I added zipper allowance, as you can see. And so we'll continue with imputing our circumference, our body circumference. The waist I'm working with is 30 inches. I divided it by 4, and that gives me 7.5. So I'll mark the 7.5 and then add 2.5 sewing allowance to it. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to mark out on the length. I'm going to mark out 6 inches, which will serve as the upper part, and 9 inches, which will serve as the down part of the hip. And so the next thing is our knee length, and to get my knee length, I just drew my tape rule up and remove 15 inches. And then so the knee length I'm working with is 33 inches, so I'm going to mark that out. After marking that out, I'm going to extend the marking to the other side of the fold, so that we can have it accurately marked out. And after that has been done, proceed to imputing our hip circumference. The hip I'm working with, like I said, is 38 inches. I'm marking out the 9.5, then added the sewing allowance, the 3 inches sewing allowance. So I'm bringing it to the end of the marking, as you can see. And then at the knee length, I'm going to remove 2 inches from what I had on the hip, as you can see. So next thing I'm going to do is make a connect of all the points, and then after that I'm connecting the waist to the hip now, as you can see, and also I'll connect it to the knee length and then down to the hem of the length. The next thing is to have our down part cut out. So I'm going to proceed to cutting and then separate the back or sides also. Okay guys, we have the down part of the dress ready. We'll proceed to the upper part, and here I'm using my pattern paper to cut it. I have my pattern drew out, or the basic body drawn out already. So the next thing I'm going to do, now that we have that done, we are going to be marking out the gap on it. The gap we're working with is 8 inches divided by 2, that's 4. That 4 inches, I'm going to add ½ inch for sewing allowance, and then I'm marking out 4.5 inches all the way down. And after that has been done, I'll make a connect of the point. And here we are making use in this project, we are making use of manipulated princess dart. And what do I mean by manipulated princess dart? This is what we use when we are not padding the dress and we want it proceeded as if it's padded. Now we'll come to the arm side, the armhole side, and then find the circumference, the mid point rather, and the midpoint is 4 inches. So on the 4 inches I came up by ½ inch and ½ inch downward, and then I'll come up on the bust point by 1 inch. As you can see, I'll make the point, the mark, and then downward the bust point I came down by 1 inch also. And then on the bust circumference I marked 1 inch on each side, and then come down to the half length side line, and then marked half inch on both side. Now I'm going to make connect with my ruler. As you can see, I'm making connects from that point to the 1 inch I came down with on the from the bust point. I hope I haven't confused you with what I do, the way I'm explaining, but then I make a connect of the one inch on the bust rand to the 1 inch I came down with on the bust point. And so I'm also connecting the half length part to the under bust, as you can see. And then the next thing we are going to do is from that 1 inch I came up with at the from the bust point, I'm going to make a connect from there to the 4.5 that I marked on the shoulder. I hope you can see and you are getting what I'm explaining. So I'm going to connect the other side also, just like I did to the down points on the armhole, and this is how it came out. And then I'm going to use my ruler to connect it down to my bust point. And the next thing I'm going to do now is just blend it in that coffee manner so that it won't be sharp at the edge while cutting it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is pick my ruler and then make a new armhole. In doing that, I'm going to extend the line by 1.2 inches at that point, and we do this so that the material will not be short while joining each side together. I mean the center and the sides together, and that's why we always make that extension and then form a new armhole. So the next thing we are going to be doing is impute our body circumference. The bust we are working with here is 34 inches. 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5. I'm going to mark out that 8.5 and then also add the extension I had at the armhole, the new armhole, the 1.2 extension I did. I'm going to add it to it and then add extra 2.5 sewing allowance to our markings. Altogether, that gives me 13.5 thereabout. And the same thing I will have on my bust at the bust point line. So we are coming down to the under bust length area, and the under bust circumference is 29 inches. 29 divided by 4 will give me 7.25 thereabout. I'm going to mark the 7.25, and then what we are going to cut out at the center, the 2 inches, I added it to it, that's 8.25, and then I added the 2.5 sewing allowance extra that we are adding to it. And the same thing I'm going to have at the half length part on my waist. And then after that has been done, I'm making a connect of all the points, and this is how we have it. I hope you can see all the markings clearly. It seems the pen is looking faint, but I hope we can see it. Now I'm doing the cutting of everything. Okay guys, for the neck I made use of 3.5 width by 3 inches depth, and that is what I'm cutting out. I'm sorry I sidelined that while explaining the drafting. Now, so we have our front part ready. I've also drafted the back. I've done that so many times, so I'm not going to be talking much on that. I'm putting a label so that we'll be able to differentiate the back and the front. And so the other side is the center front and the center and the side back, and then this other one is the center back and the side back. All I'm going to do to this is just to impute my neck circumference. From the center points, I marked the zipper allowance, and then the neck I'm making use, just like I did to the front, is 3.5 width and 3 inches depth, and that is what I'm cutting out, as you can see me do. And this is the end of I'm just going to use it to cut the fabric, and I've done that already. As you can see, what we have to do next is go to the machine and then make a joining of everything. And here we have it. I have the front part joined to the down part, and the back side also is ready. I've also fixed my zip. And guys, this dress was not lined. I only use the same fabric to do facing to the next side, as you can see. To make the ruches at the side, I have my fabric folded in 7 inches. As you can see, I'm going to fold it into 2 and then sew the side. And I've done that. As you can see, I've sewn it. All I'm going to do next is connect it to the side. So what I'm going to do now is come in by, like, you know, we add extra sewing allowance now. So I'm just going to first pleat it the way I want it to be on the dress. And then at the down side, I remember that the old length was 43 inches, but in cutting out the down part, I cut out 30 inches. That shows that I had 2 inches extra to hem the down part. So that's why I drew up, and before the hem we have like 2 inches before of the runch before the hem. And so that's why I came up by 4 inches at the down part. I'm sorry guys, you can't get to see that well. So I came up rather by 4 inches. I left 4 inches allowance at the down part of the hem. And so I'm going to just pleat the other part to the waist side. I'm just going to make a pleat and then show you how everything is. Now guys, the ruches has been pleated to the 2 sides, and as you can see, this is how it actually came out. And the 4 inches I was talking about that will leave, that's what you are seeing. That's the excess you are seeing after the pleat. And so what I'm going to do next is, you see the way it is, I'll first of all stitch it down so that there won't be shifts while I place my back. And then I've done that, and this is my back right now. I'm going to place my back on it, pin it down, and then impute the body circumference so that we can have it sewn together. And now guys, I have gone ahead to join the 2 sides, and this is how it came out. I'm trying to open it to the right side so that you can see how the brushes is on the dress. And as you can see, this is how it is. And then the excess 4 inches I said I left, you can also see it. I'm going to go to the machine now, but before doing that, this is the sleeve. You see the way the sleeve is. I'm also going to it's 7 inches also, just like we have it at the side. So what I'm going to do is join it also like I did to the side one. Guys, in the joining, the edges will be sewn inside, and then the side will be top stitch, like it will be sewn on it. I hope you understand me. What I'm going to do is now find the center top, notch it, and then pin it and pleat it just like we pleat the side ruches. That's how I'm going to pleat it also on the armhole. So as I'm pleating it and pinning it, so I'm just going to pleat it, pin it round, and then show you how we have it afterwards. The same thing I'm going to do to the other side. So guys, after pinning it, as you can see, this is how we have it. You see how it is. I'm just going to go to the machine, sew it round. Guys, before we continue, I want to appreciate you for staying true to this time. If you are stayed true to now, I'm very sure that you are getting value from watching this video. And if you do, please don't hesitate to give this video a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends. Make comments. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, do not hesitate to. And this is how we have it at the end. You see the side rushes. I've also turned up the hem part. I've hemmed it, and this is the sleeve also. You see how it is, and this is how our beautiful gown came out. Thank you for staying true to the end of this video. See you in my next tutorial. Bye.